in wake of Calumet College of St. Joseph. At this time, we ask everyone to please rise. Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon and welcome to Joliet, Illinois, where the University of St. Francis today hosts Calumet College of St. Joseph in a baseball doubleheader. Terry Bonadonna with you for today's CCAC action. Calumet College of St. Joe's actually in the field to start today's game. They will be the home team to get us started today because of a shuffling of the schedule. And so their starting pitcher, Bubba Davenport, is taking his warm-up tosses on the mound right now. I'll get you his numbers in just a moment, but first let's take a look at the starting nine for St. Francis today. Leading off is going to be the shortstop Noah Carraro. John McGuire bats second, playing second base. Eric Maffey hits third as today's first baseman. The cleanup batter is catcher Jake Lasota. Scott Tumulty is the designated hitter, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is right fielder Gio Pappas. Alex Martinez bats seventh at third base. Luke Ketchum mans center field. And batting ninth is left fielder Jake Vera. Carraro leads things off, facing Bubba Davenport. The right-hander goes into the windup. His first pitch of the game is bunted down the third base side, backhanded by Davenport. His throw to first is on time. And there's quickly one out in this first inning. On the very first pitch of the game, Davenport does record the out, gets the assist himself on the bunt from Carraro. One up, one down. That'll bring up John McGuire. Bubba Davenport is making his team-leading seventh start of the season today. He's 2-2 with an even 6 ERA. He's tossed 2 complete games in 33 innings pitched this season. He's allowed 27 runs, 22 of them earned, as this one is bounced up the middle and out to center field by John McGuire. 2 pitches, and already 2 balls have been put in play. A ground out on the bunt, and now a single to center field for John McGuire. The Saints have the game's first base runner. 1 on, 1 out in the top of the first for Eric Maffey. Well, these stats are no longer all that accurate from Davenport because so much has happened since I started reading them. But he has, in 33 innings allowed this year, 27 runs, 22 of them earned, 32 hits. He has walked 14 and struck out 24. And he faces Maffey now with 1 on, 1 out. Eric Maffey decides to take the first pitch. It's a strike. First pitch that anybody's taken so far in today's game. It is the strike to Maffey. Trying to advance John McGuire beyond first base. Eric Maffey hit a home run in a game on Monday against St. Xavier, the last time that St. Francis took the field here. He's a .253 hitter overall, 2 homers, 9 runs batted in, which is tied for the 3rd most on this St. Francis roster. Fighting Saints playing their 26th game of the year. 0-1 from Davenport to Maffey. Foul tipped, and that's strike 2, excuse me. Saints come in with a 7-18 overall record. They got off to a good start in conference play, winning 3 of their first 4 games before dropping both ends of a doubleheader against St. Xavier on Monday. So they come into today at 3-3 overall in CCAC play. McGuire takes a short lead away from first. Davenport's pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Bubba Davenport. Second out of the inning. McGuire still at first base, and the batter will be Jake Lasota, trying to keep this thing alive for the team that is the visiting side on the scoreboard here in Game 1, St. Francis, despite playing on their home field. Jake Lasota, hitting .286 for the season, has a homer and 11 RBIs this year. Davenport, the tall right-hander, pitching out of the stretch, delivers the first pitch in the zone for strike 1. Bubba Davenport, a junior from Griffith, Indiana, doubles as an infielder on days when he's not pitching. There's a check swing tapper back to the mound. Davenport scoops it up, tosses it over to first base, and ends the inning. Second assist of the inning for Davenport in a relatively clean first inning. He gives up the 1-out single to McGuire, but McGuire is stranded at first base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Calumet will get their first at-bat of the game in just a moment. No score. Calumet College of St. Joseph will get their first at-bat of the game. Here in the bottom of the first inning, we have no score between Calumet and St. Francis. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Crimson Wave. Leading things off and playing right field is Gabriel Quinones. Batting second, center fielder Sean Moore. The first baseman is Michael Machnik, batting third. Hitting cleanup and playing left field, Nicholas Anderson. The designated hitter is Sergio Olivares. Idan Ortiz bats sixth and plays third. Xavier Sanchez is behind the plate, batting 7th. Cody Wilkins plays second base and batting 9th. Shortstop Maury Garrett Jr. Angel Sandoval doing the pitching for St. Francis, and his first toss is smacked foul to the left side for strike 1. Gabriel Quinones leading things off, a .295 batter, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs so far this season. Quinones has started all but one game so far this year for Calumet as he takes the ball. The count evens up 1-1. Quinones, the senior from Puerto Rico, takes one over the outside corner from Sandoval, and the count moves to 1-2. Angel Sandoval pitching out of the stretch to begin today's ball game. He comes set for the 1-ball, 2-strike offering. Taken for strike 3, 1 away. You got Quinones to go down looking. 1 out to start today's ball game. A strikeout for Angel Sandoval, and that is his 4th strikeout this season. Sandoval is starting his 6th game this year. He's 1-2 with a .675 ERA. In 16 innings pitched coming in, he had allowed 12 runs, all of them earned on 23 hits with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. He faces Sean Moore and pumps in another strike, that one over the outside corner. And the count is 0-1. He's been painting that outside corner to the left-handed bats to begin today's game. Right-handed pitcher delivers the next one and misses the outside edge this time. Too far out. It's 1-1. Another lefty is in the on-deck circle. So they've loaded the top of the lineup with left-handed bats as Moore takes a ball high. It's 2-1. Sean Moore this season batting .242. 7 runs batted in. He pops it foul and out of play. Count goes to 2-2. As a team this season, Calumet is hitting just .243, so Moore is right around the team average. St. Francis a little bit better at .253. Both teams have struggled to find consistent offense, though, early in this season. 1 out, nobody on. The 2-2 pitch misses the outside corner. It's a full count. Michael Matchnick is on deck for Calumet. Their 9th-year head coach, Brian Nowakowski. Payoff pitch. Lifted into left field. Jake Vera circles it. Vera gets to the spot, makes the grab, and there's out number 2. So working a little bit harder, I suppose, than Bubba Davenport, who is getting a lot of first-pitch swings. Sandoval still off to a very good start. A strikeout, a flyout. And now if he can retire Michael Matchnick, he'll get out of this inning unscathed. 2 outs, nobody on base. And Matchnick, the number 3 hitter, one of the most dangerous bats on this roster. He's hitting .310 for the season. He's got 9 extra base hits. He takes ball 1. 2 of those hits have left the yard. He leads the team with 21 RBIs this season. He pops it foul and out of play. Count evens up. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, nobody on. On a grim Friday afternoon in late March. Early conference season. Called strike right down the pike there. 1-2. Both of these teams are playing in their 7th game of the year in the CCAC. St. Francis is trying to move over 500. Calumet's trying to get back there. Bounced foul, still 1-2. Fighting Saints, I mentioned before, 3-3. Crimson Wave are 2-4 so far this year against CCAC foes. Very similar overall records. Saints are 7-18. The Crimson Wave 7-16. Another 1-2. Reached out and poked in the left field. Vera comes on, makes the catch, and ends the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Crimson Wave in the bottom of the first. Neither team threatens in their first at bat. We'll head to the second inning. No score. Top of inning number 2, no score between St. Francis and Calumet. Scott Tumulty will lead things off for the Saints here and take a strike over the outside corner. Bubba Davenport in the zone early on, has not missed the strike zone yet. Got through the first inning on just 6 pitches. The 0-1 to Tumulty. Hit high in the air out to deep right center field. Long run back for Sean Moore. He has to turn his back to it as that ball hits off the base of the wall. It takes a good ricochet. Tumulty's still going around second to third base. He's being waved around third base. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not nearly in enough time. It's a stand-up inside the park home run for Scott Tumulty, and St. Francis takes a 1-0 lead. Calumet appeals back to third base, and they do not get the call there, so it's 1-0 St. Francis. Tumulty showing off his speed there. Not played very well off the wall from Sean Moore. He chased it all the way back into deep right center field, and as the ball hit off the base of the fence, it took a weird carom. Well, now they appeal formally to third base, and call is still safe. So Scott Tumulty has the second hit of the game for St. Francis, and the first run for him. It's his second collegiate homer, RBI number 8, and it was never even a question at home. He made it in easily standing up. The relay throw never even got there. So Tumulty flashing his speed as well as his power. And Gio Pappas will hit with the bases empty, nobody out. He swings to the first pitch for strike 1. Gio Pappas getting the start in right field today, a .295 batter. Takes the ball inside, 1-1s. There's the first ball of the game from Bubba Davenport. It was only his 10th pitch. Felt like more. This is the 6th batter of the game already. We're in the second inning. Swing and a miss. Chased one downstairs there. Count goes to 1-2. Pretty brisk breeze blowing out today. That may have benefited Scott Tumulty a little bit. He was able to crank one into deep right center field. Ball low and away, 2-2. It is an unpleasant day weather-wise. No sun showing in the sky right now. Overcast in all directions. The lights are on just after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. 2-2. Chopper back towards the mound. Fielded in a couple of hops by Davenport. He bobbles it, and Pappas is safe at first. So Davenport's been very busy on the mound early on. That's the 3rd batter already that's hit the ball back to him. I don't know if the ball slipped out of his hands because it's a little bit wet down there. We've had a lot of rain the last couple of days, including some drizzle today just prior to the game. Or maybe he was just rushing himself because the ball was so softly hit. But either way, he mishandled it, allowed the runner to reach base, and now Alex Martinez stands in and takes ball 1 up and in. So the first 2 batters have reached here in the top of the second inning. The inside the park home run for Scott Tumulty, and then Gio Pappas on the tapper back to the mound that Davenport misplayed. Ball gets away from the catcher Xavier Sanchez. Now trying for third base is Pappas, and he makes it in with no throw. So how about that, a 2-base wild pitch. Count is 2-0 on Martinez. And I'm not sure exactly what happened to Sanchez there. It's rare you ever see a 2-base advance on a ball like that. It might happen sometimes. Well, he will go back to second base rather here. Sanchez looked like he located the ball initially. Just had a hard time getting back to it. But Pappas is at second base. It's 2-0 on Martinez. And he takes the ball up and in now, 3-0. All of a sudden, after not missing the strike zone, Davenport can't find it. Three balls and no strikes on Martinez. A runner at second, nobody out. Catch him on deck. And he misses once again. So a 4-pitch walk from Davenport. Puts 2 on with nobody out for Ketchum. First walk of the game issued by Bubba Davenport. A good RBI chance here for the junior Ketchum. 14 walks in 33 innings for Davenport coming into play today. So there's number 15 of the season as Calumet brings their first baseman Michael Matchnick in on the grass, expecting a bunt from Ketchum. He does push the bunt to first base. Matchnick picks it up. His only play is at first, and the out is recorded. So the runners advance. First out of the inning on the Ketchum sacrifice. It goes 3-4. Martinez up to second base. Pappas is at third, and the batter is Jake Vera. So Vera's got a real RBI shot here with 2 on base, both in scoring position. 288 hitter. Vera takes the first pitch for strike 1. 2 doubles, no home runs, 8 RBIs this year for Vera. 59 at bats in 20 games started. This is number 21 for him. Corner infielders are in. The middlemen play back as St. Francis looks to extend a narrow early lead. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. They got the run on the Tumulty inside the park home run to lead off this inning. And now threatening for more. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed bat, the 1-1. Vera hits it in the air to left field down the line. Long run for Nicholas Anderson into foul territory. He can't get to it, and it drops for a foul ball. 1-2. Oh, and just a few feet wide of the line. Mentioned the wind is blowing out to right field. So on that ball, it was pushing it back towards the field of play. But not a lot of air under that hit from Jake Vera. And that allowed it to drop before Anderson could reach it. So it's a pitcher's count here, 1-2. Davenport could sure go for a strikeout right now. Here's his next toss. Grounded foul past first base. Still 1-2. Top of the order coming up after Vera. Noah Carraro waits on deck. Bubba Davenport, after a really easy first inning, running into all kinds of trouble here in the second. Vera grounds it right up the middle and out to center field. A base hit for Jake Vera. Pappas scores. Martinez follows and does the same thing. It's 3-0. 2-run single for Jake Vera as he picks up RBIs number 9 and 10 for the season. And St. Francis builds their lead. 3 runs here in the second inning.
Shortstop number 3, Noah Carraro.
And this, for a struggling offense, has been a great time to the plate as Noah Carraro takes a strike over the outside corner. 0-1. They played a doubleheader on Monday against St. Xavier and scored just 4 runs total over 16 innings of offense. Most of those came late. They never led. There's a line shot off the glove of the shortstop Garrett, and it drops on the infield for a base hit. Everybody is safe. Vera up to second, Carraro at first. Still just 1 out. Noah Carraro reaches on a hard line drive to the left side of the infield. Looked like Maury Garrett was getting set to make a really nice catch over at the shortstop position, but it popped right out of his glove. Here's John McGuire. 5 of 6 batters so far this inning have reached base. Check swing strike called. Count is 0-1 on McGuire. McGuire singled up the middle in the first inning. He's 1 for 1. Runner takes off from second base. The pitch is a strike. Throw it on to third, not nearly in time. Jake Vera steals third. Stolen base number 5 this season for Vera. Davenport lost track of him. He took off. and made it in very easily. It is an 0-2 count now on McGuire. Carraro did not go. He's still at first base. They're at the corners. Throw to first, and Noah dives back in head first. Again, 5 out of 6 batters this inning so far have reached. The only one who didn't was on a sacrifice bunt. Runner goes from first. Ground ball to the second baseman. A bobble by Cody Wilkins, but he's able to recover and throw out McGuire at first base. Jake Vera comes in to score, so the stolen base pays big dividends for the Fighting Saints, and they lead it now 4-0. Not a stolen base for Noah Carraro, but his running pays dividends as well. He was on the move on that pitch, and as a result of that, he was able to make it to second base, so they weren't able to get the force there. Here's Eric Maffey, the 8th batter of the inning. The runner at second base and 2 outs. Maffey takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Eric Maffey is 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging in the first inning. For John McGuire, that RBI on his ground out was number 7 this season. The 1-0 pitch finds the zone. The count is even. Davenport trying to get out of what has been a difficult and lengthy top of the second. Misses high and off the glove of Sanchez. Ball 2. Carraro advances to third base on the play. So a hitter's count now. Second time this inning that Sanchez has been unable to corral one. That time right off his glove. Maffey checks his swing. He went around according to the home plate umpire, and the count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So runner at third. 4 runs are in so far in the top of the second inning. 2-2 pitch. Check swing. This time the home plate umpire asks for some help, and that help that he's given says no swing. So it's ball 3 on Maffey. Full count. Jake Lasota stands on deck, waiting to become the 9th hitter of the inning if Maffey reaches base. Payoff offering. Grounded foul. Still 3-2. Bubba Davenport threw 6 total pitches in the first inning. He's thrown 6 so far in this at-bat. Well over 20 for the inning. Line drive in right center field. That finds some green space. A base hit for Eric Maffey, and it scoots past Sean Moore. Maffey takes off for second base. The run is already in as Maffey heads into third. And he rounds third, taking the hard turn, and he goes all the way home. The shovel home. Xavier Sanchez wasn't covering home plate, so Maffey motors all the way around the bases and scores. It's 6-0 St. Francis. Not sure what happened exactly there to Calumet. First time this inning, it was an inside the park home run from Scott Tumulty when Sean Moore just struggled to play the carom off the fence. This time, though, should have been a single. Sean Moore just let it bounce right past him. So there was an error on Moore, but should have been 1 or 2 extra bases at most as Lasota grounds it to the left side of the infield off the back of the glove of Davenport, and he can't pull it in. So Jake Lasota is aboard. This long second inning continues. An infield hit for Lasota, another chance for Bubba Davenport defensively, and one that he is not able to make. And so here we are with Scott Tumulty batting for the second time of the inning. He's the one who hit the inside the park home run last time up. This inning has been a total disaster for Calumet St. Joe's. Defensively, it's been ugly. St. Francis has made him pay with some big hits. Going back to that Maffey line drive into right center field. Looked like an RBI single. And then Moore let it skip right past him. But even with that error, Calumet just seemed to fall apart, fall asleep really as a team. Trying to get that ball back into home plate. Maffey kept going and they just weren't ready for it. Nobody was covering home plate. Throw over to first. And Lasota dives back in safely. Actually, that's not Jake Lasota over at first. And John Peterson is pinch running. Check swing. The runner goes. The throw down to second. Skids into center field. And Peterson heads over to third on another Calumet error. So Peterson moves into third base on the throwing error. He also gets credit for a steal. Stole second cleanly, moved the extra 90 feet on the throwing error. Ball outside on Tumulty, 2-0. Davenport pitching out of the windup now with a man at third base. Big right-hander delivers. Check swing. He went around. 2-1. There is some action down in the bullpen right now for Calumet. It's been a tough inning for Davenport. Certainly hasn't been all his fault, all the problems this inning, although he's had some opportunities to get out of it defensively and hasn't been able to finish that off as it's fouled away here. But as far as his pitching goes, he's given up 5 hits in the inning, but 4 of them have been singles. The only one that wasn't was the inside the park home run. That bounces in. The count goes full. 3-2 on Scott Tumulty, who led off this inning with a deep fly ball into right center field. That hit off the base of the wall, ricocheted back into center. Sean Moore couldn't play it. Tumulty sped around all 4 bases. 3-2. Bouncing ball to first base. This should end the inning. Matchnick picks it up, slides into first, and just barely gets him. Tumulty racing all the way down the line. And what looked like a routine play turned into a very difficult one for the Crimson Wave, but they do get the out, 3 unassisted. And the top of the second finally does come to an end. 6-run score for St. Francis. As we head to the bottom of the inning, it is a 6-0 game. Nicholas Anderson leads off the bottom of the second inning for Calumet, and he swings at the first pitch from Angel Sandoval, flipping it into right field. Gio Pappas comes in, now goes out and makes the catch. Nearly misplayed that one. He overran it, but he recovered in enough time to retire Anderson. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. 6-0, St. Francis leads. They got those 6 runs all in the top of the second on 5 hits. Handful of errors from Calumet. And they took advantage of the shoddy defense. Now Angel Sandoval trying to keep a 0 on the scoreboard under the home side as the first pitch to Olivares is fouled back off the umpire for strike one. Sergio Olivares batting for the first time today, hitting .227 for the season with 12 runs batted in. Sandoval had a 1-2-3 first inning, retiring Quinones, Moore, and Matchnick. So he's set down the first four batters he's faced in today's game. The right-hander's 0-1, up and in for a ball. Sandoval, who most recently pitched over a week ago now, had a good long rest between innings as well. Foul back, 1-2. A very lengthy top half of the second gave Sandoval some good time to rest down in the dugout, which on a cold day like this is not always appreciated as a pitcher. Probably like to get out there a little bit sooner. Ball in the dirt. It skips away from Lasota, but with nobody on base. No harm done there. The count moves to 2-2. One out, nobody on. Even count on Olivares. Another good battle from the Calumet hitter. They've been working the count against Sandoval. Just haven't been able to break through against him and get on base. There's a strike three swinging. 2 strikeouts in the game for Sandoval. 5 up, 5 down against him. And he looks for his second straight perfect inning against third baseman Idan Ortiz. Ortiz is a 184 hitter. He's played about half the games this year for Calumet. First pitch that he sees is swung on and popped foul off to the right side, out of play. Strike one. Ortiz has 5 RBIs this year. He's gone 7 for 38 at the plate overall. All 7 hits have been singles. Trying to keep the inning alive here with a single or anything else he can do to get on. He takes a strike. 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Sandoval has gotten ahead of everybody so far today, at one time or another. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts and the second inning. He's fanned 3 of the first 6 hitters. He's retired all of them. And as we head to the third inning, St. Francis leads Calumet 6-0. New pitcher for Calumet St. Joe's as we move into the third of 7 scheduled innings, 6-0. St. Francis has the lead. Bubba Davenport's day is done. He is replaced on the mound by Mark Cervantes. On for the 5th time this year. It's his first relief appearance, typically a starter. He lasted just 1 inning in his last start, so today he comes on in relief. He's 1-3 with an 11.81 ERA. In 10 2/3 innings, he's allowed 16 runs, 14 of them earned on 12 hits, 14 walks, just 7 strikeouts for Cervantes. And he throws his first pitch of the game over the outside corner, strike 1 on Gio Pappas. He reached on an error back in the 2nd inning that started a big 5-run rally. The rally had already begun as he is hit by the pitch and he'll take his base. The rally actually started one batter earlier. Scott Tumulty hit the inside the park home run, but even after that, Bubba Davenport had a chance to reset. Nobody on base and just kind of start the inning fresh, but Pappas reached on that error. It was an error on Davenport, and then the floodgates kind of opened. 6 runs scored total in the inning. They left a man at third base, so could have been even more. The throw over to first base checks on Pappas. Alex Martinez walked his first time up. The only walk issued by Bubba Davenport, who went 2 total innings today, allowed 6 runs. There's the ball, and the count is 1-0. Gotta figure out the math, but I believe 3 of the 6 runs were unearned in his 2 innings of work. He gave up 6 hits, walked 1, and struck out 1. He's in line for the loss. Called strike on Martinez, 1-1. His offense will try to get him off the hook for that loss, and Cervantes will try to keep the game close, although he's not off to a rousing start as he hit the first batter of the inning on the leg. Now it's 1-1 on Martinez, who swings through the next one, 1-2. So a quick hook for Bubba Davenport today. He's been their most reliable workhorse so far this season. Entering today's game, he was averaging about 6 innings pitched per start. About 5.5 innings pitched per start. Throw to first base, checks on the runner. And today he was only able to last 2, considering he's the guy who oftentimes is asked to pitch game 1 of the doubleheader, the 7-inning game. Gotta like your chances of him going deep into a game like this when he gets the ball, but it didn't happen today. Called strike 3. Martinez goes down looking. And there's the 2nd strikeout of the game for this St. Francis offense. So 1 out, 1 on. Here's Luke Ketchum. Ketchum, the center fielder, bunted his last time up. Got credit for a sacrifice, so no official at-bats for the junior outfielder. Pappas once again sent back to first base. Gio Pappas, at least based on previous trends, is not a big threat to run. He's only attempted 1 stolen base this year. He was unsuccessful, but he does go here. A ball low and in, and there's no throw down to second. So the count is 1-0 on Luke Ketchum, and there's a man in scoring position now. As I said, Pappas, based on previous numbers, is not a threat to run, but everybody's been going so far today for St. Francis when reaching. They're having a field day on Xavier Sanchez, who's having a tough time behind the plate. 1-0 pitch. Strike over the outside corner. It's 1-1. Sanchez entering today's game had caught just 2 of 31 attempted base stealers. That ball misses low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. And so far in this game, the Fighting Saints have 3 steals. There've also been a couple advances on wild pitch or pass ball. Tapper back to the mound. Played by Cervantes between his legs. Nice grab by Cervantes as he throws to first and gets the 2nd out of the inning. Pappas advances to third on the play. Ketchum does his job in that regard. He advances the runner. But with 2 outs now, Fighting Saints need a hit from Jake Vera. St. Francis has been hitting the ball back to the pitcher today. That's the 5th chance, I think, now for the pitcher. Yeah, I count 5th chance for the pitcher to make a play. The 3rd time the pitcher's made the play. Ball 1 outside on the number 9 batter, Jake Vera. Vera hit a 2-run single in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 1 in that 6-run rally. Vera's at bat was the only one that scored 2 players in 1 shot. Ball low and away, 2-0. All St. Francis so far, 6 runs on 6 hits. Calumet has not yet had a base runner. They have spent very little time at the plate so far in this game. Foul tipped, it's 2-1. And so they'll have the bottom of their order coming up. Number 7, 8, and 9 facing senior Angel Sandoval of St. Francis, who has looked mighty good so far in this game. Two and 1. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. The leadoff batter was hit by a pitch. He stands all the way over at 3rd base right now. But there are 2 outs, and Cervantes is 1 strike away from pitching out of this potentially troublesome inning. Ball outside. The count is full. If Vera does reach, we roll back around to the top of the order, and Noah Carraro, who stands on deck. The 3-2 pitch to Jake Vera. Fouled away. Good fight here between hitter and pitcher. You'll see a 7th pitch. Cervantes gets the sign from the catcher. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air up to left field. Anderson comes in on it, and Anderson makes the catch. The inning is over. Following the hit by pitch, the Saints go down 1-2-3, and so they don't score. They leave a man at 3rd base. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. 6-0. St. Francis leads. It's the bottom of the 3rd inning. St. Francis holds a healthy 6-0 lead on Calumet College of St. Joseph. And the first pitch from Angel Sandoval this inning is over the outside corner for strike 1. Sandoval has faced 6 batters. He's retired all of them. 3 of them on strikes. Popped up by Sanchez, foul and out of play. 0-2. Sanchez having a tough game behind the plate so far, trying to make up for it at the plate. Sitting 167 in his 10 games played this year. The 0-2 pitch to him is hit high in the air right in front of the plate. Sandoval steps off the mound, now back onto the mound, drifting over to the first base side. He makes the catch. So a pop out to the pitcher gets this inning started. 1 up, 1 down. It'll bring up Cody Wilkins for the first time. Defensive change for St. Francis out in left field. Jake Vera has been replaced by Sam Tumulty. So Tumulty's in left now. As Cody Wilkins smashes the first pitch into left field for a hit. A hard hit ground ball that finds its way between third and short. And Calumet has their first base runner of the game. It's Cody Wilkins, the light-hitting junior infielder. For Wilkins, that is just the 4th hit of the season in his 22 at-bats. Then it brings up Maury Garrett. Garrett, the shortstop, number 9 in the batting order. Takes ball 1 up and in. Garrett's hitting .191 for the season. 8 runs batted in, 3 extra base hits. Make that 1 extra base hit, sorry, for Maury Garrett Jr. Right-handed hitting infielder. Sandoval throws to first base. 6-0 game right now. Calumet trying to get their first rally going, as they have already succeeded in getting their first base runner. It comes with 1 out in the 3rd inning and snaps a string of 7 straight retired by Sandoval to start things off. Fouled away to the right side by Garrett and out of play. 1-1. Six runs, 6 hits, no errors for St. Francis. 0, 1, and 3 for Calumet. Popped foul and out of play. 1-2. We're back to the top of the order after this Garrett at bat. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Not originally scheduled as 2, but switched up with some rotten weather this week in Chicagoland. Throw over to first base, and Wilkins gets back in safely. It's one of the driest days we've had all week. It's still a little damp down on the field as Garrett pops it up foul to the right, towards the seats and into the seats. Actually, onto the berm down the right field line. Still 1-2. There's a little shred of natural light a little bit ago in this game, but for the most part it's been played under overcast skies. Tomorrow may be a little sunnier, but a lot colder, according to the forecast. That ball's grounded to second base. McGuire flips it over to second against the force. Carraro tries to turn 2, but that play developed just too slowly. No chance to get Garrett at first base. So he trades places with Wilkins. He's safe. Wilkins retired 4-6 on the fielder's choice. And with 2 outs, we're back to the top of the order. Gabriel Quinones is the batter. Quinones is 0 for 1. He struck out looking in the first inning, the first of what is so far 3 strikeouts for Angel Sandoval, which matches his total coming in. Throw over to first base, checks on Garrett. Maury Garrett has 3 steals so far this year. He's been caught once. Swing and a miss for strike 1 on Quinones. So maybe a good trade for Calumet, having him at first base instead of Cody Wilkins. As far as Sandoval is concerned, he'd rather not care about it. The runner goes, swung on, fouled away. It's 0-2, and Sandoval's 1 strike away from his 3rd straight scoreless inning. The right-hander gets the sign in from Jake Lasota as he checks over to first base. The 0-2 pitch, runner on the move again. Ball outside, throw down to second is in plenty of time. The tag is applied, and the inning is over. Maury Garrett Jr. caught trying to steal second base, and St. Francis is able to pitch around the 1-out single. Sandoval has still faced the minimum through 3 as we head to the 4th inning. 6-0 Saints lead. 3 innings down, 4 still to go here at Dooley Medical Group Field. Noah Carraro leads off the inning for St. Francis. Carraro batting for the 3rd time today. 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And he swings at the first pitch here, launching it out to deep right field. Quinones back to the warning track, and it's over his head. That ball hits against the wall, and Carraro heads into second base, sliding with a double. First pitch of the inning. Noah Carraro has a 2-bagger. That's his 2nd hit of the game, his team leading 6th double this season. Well, the Fighting Saints are in good position to extend this lead. It's the 3rd straight inning they've gotten the leadoff man on base. This time it comes from the top of the order. Good hitters behind him. John McGuire coming up next. McGuire, a 277 average coming in. He's 1 for 2 in this game with a single and an RBI. He takes ball 1 low. The Saints chased Bubba Davenport out of this game in just 2 innings. All 6 runs that are up on the scoreboard right now were charged to Davenport. Not all of them earned, fouled away. Count is 1-1. But this is Mark Cervantes' 2nd inning of work. Cervantes did good work in the 3rd inning. He hit the leadoff batter and then retired 3 in a row. That double for Carraro is the first hit allowed by Cervantes. As McGuire takes a strike, it's 1-2. The sophomore infielder, John McGuire, awaits the next pitch. Well outside. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good speed at second base right now for the team in brown, the visiting team on the scoreboard here today, despite the fact that they're playing in their home field. 2-2 on McGuire. He swings and grounds it weakly to the left side. This is a tough play for the 3rd baseman Ortiz. The throw to first is not in time. It's an infield single for John McGuire. The first 2 men have each reached on hits this inning. 2 on with nobody out for Eric Maffey. McGuire runs well, and that certainly played a part in that hit, but it was such a softly hit ball, and it was stuck between the shortstop and 3rd baseman. Ortiz cut in front of Garrett to make the play, but was not able to get the throw to first in time. Ball 1 outside on Eric Maffey. First baseman for St. Francis, number 3 in the batting order, showing bunt on the first pitch. Maffey got a hit, went all the way around the bases his last time up. He does have 1 sacrifice this season. He doesn't need one here as he pulls the bat back and the ball gets to the backstop. The runners both advance. The count is 2-0 on Maffey. McGuire now at second base. Carraro is at third. Sanchez continues to have a tough time behind the plate, whether it's been his fault or the pitcher's. He's burned a trail between the backstop and the actual backstop. Home plate and the backstop, I guess. 2-0 on Maffey. Base hit now, scores 2 potentially. Good speed at both bases, and he's nearly hit by the pitch. Is he hit? Yep, he was hit by the pitch. So on 2-0, Cervantes buzzes him up and in and ends up grazing him, I think, around the shoulder. And so with nobody out, the bases are loaded.
Catcher number 14, Jake Lasota.
Here's Jake Lasota. Lasota is 1 for 2 in today's ball game. Reached on an infield single in the second inning. 8 hits so far in the game for the Fighting Saints. 2 of the 8 have gone for extra bases, including the leadoff double for Noah Carraro earlier this inning. Lasota hits a hard grounder right at second, could be 2. Wilkins throws to Garrett for 1. Garrett's throw to first is in time to turn the double play. So that's a big boost for Calumet, but it's also a boost for St. Francis, As Noah Carraro crosses the plate on the play. No RBI for Jake Lasota on the twin killing. There are 2 outs now in the inning, but the score is 7-0 St. Francis. So Lasota and Maffey are retired. McGuire moves to third base. Carraro scores. McGuire still stands at third right now. As Scott Tumulty bats for the 3rd time. And takes strike 1. Tumulty's 1 for 2. Both of those at bats having come in the 2nd inning. He's got a solo inside the park home run and a ground out. And now he's got a hit by pitch. Second batter to be hit this inning by Mark Cervantes. It's the 3rd man that Cervantes has hit in just an inning and 2/3. So they are at the corners now with 2 down for Gio Pappas. Entering play today, Cervantes had some obvious control problems. 14 walks in just 10 and 2/3 innings. He had hit 5 batters, and now he's hit 8. 8 hit batters, 7 wild pitches, 14 walks, and just 12 innings pitched on the season, including today's numbers. So finding the strike zone consistently has been a big problem for Mark Cervantes. Can he get out of this inning? We're in the top of the 4th, already a 7-run lead for the Fighting Saints. Throw over to first base, sends Tumulty back to the bag. Scott Tumulty showed off his speed earlier on the inside the park home run. And so now Cervantes is aware of it, and he's checking on him. To the plate, runner moves, pitches high for a ball, no throw down to second. Call it a stolen base for Scott Tumulty. 1-0 on Gio Pappas, and now 2 men in scoring position. Even with 2 outs, Sanchez elected not to throw down to second, didn't want to run the risk of the runner scoring from third. There's a grounder to second base. Cody Wilkins makes a nice lunging grab at it, moving to his left, and he retires Gio Pappas at first base. Well played by Cody Wilkins. If that had gotten past him, that's 2 more runs for the Fighting Saints. As it is, they settle for 1 on 2 hits and 2 hit batters. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, 7-0, St. Francis has the lead. We're at the halfway point of this game. It's 7-0 St. Francis. Angel Sandoval deals his first pitch at the bottom of the 4th, and Quinones clubs it into right center field, looking for the gap, and it finds it as it rolls to the wall. Quinones has extra bases around second, looking for 3. Here comes the relay throw from John McGuire. Close play, and he's safe. Close play as it was, the ball was not handled cleanly by Alex Martinez. I think even if he had caught it cleanly, Quinones would have been safe at third. But an easy call after the ball squirmed out of his glove. And it's a triple for Gabriel Quinones. A great start to this inning for Calumet, who has been looking for a spark somewhere. They've got it right there. Prior to that Quinones triple, they had just 1 hit through 3 innings, and that one man to have reached was then caught stealing. Fouled back off the screen. Strike one on Sean Moore. So Sandoval had faced just 9 total hitters through 3 innings. Looks like he'll face more than the minimum in all likelihood here in the 4th. The 0-1 to Moore. In the dirt, it's 1-1. That triple for Gabriel Quinones was his 5th of the season. That guy's got some power, and he can really move around the bases. 12 extra base hits for Quinones, who has been arguably the best hitter on the team so far this year. Ball high. The count is 2-1. I'm looking at the numbers right now. I don't know if you could make an argument for anybody else. Doesn't have the highest batting average, but he does have the highest slugging. Second in on base percentage. Strike called on Sean Moore, 2-2. Nicholas Anderson has put together a good season as well in fewer at bats. Not significantly fewer. Line foul past third base. Works its way down to the Calumet bullpen. Still 2-2. Sean Moore flew out to left field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Michael Matchnick is on deck. 2-2 pitch. Chopper to the left side. It gets by the third baseman. Picked up by the shortstop Carraro. His throw comes home, and they have got Gabriel Quinones. 6-2 on the fielder's choice. 1 away. Not a great base running maneuver right there by Gabriel Quinones. Moore is safe at first base. So he reaches on the fielder's choice, and now it's up to Michael Matchnick with 1 out. Try to get another rally going. They had a man at third base. First time today they had somebody in scoring position. But that has been erased. Quinones actually held up at third base off the bat because it looked like there was going to be a chance for Alex Martinez to make that play at third base. And if Martinez had fielded it, he could have come right home, and Quinones probably would have been dead at the plate. So he waited until the ball got by Martinez at third. When it did and Noah Carraro was fielding it in the hole, Quinones felt it was safe to come home, but in fact, that was a big help to St. Francis. Carraro would have had a very tough play at first base with Sean Moore, who runs well. Ball up and away, 1-0 on Matchnick. Carraro would have had to make a long throw from deep in the hole, but instead, because Quinones decided to take off from third, Carraro was able to come home with it. Not as long a throw. He tossed a perfect strike over to Jake Lasota. And Quinones was out by a handful of steps. 1-1 on Matchnick. 1 out, 1 on. 7-0 St. Francis leads. They scored 6 in the second, 1 in the fourth. And they could have a lot more than that right now. They've left 5 base runners through 4 innings. 1-0 is hit hard into right field. That's a hit for Matchnick. Moore pulls up at second base. Second hit of the inning for Cal St. Joe's. They're at first and second now with 1 gone for Nicholas Anderson. Anderson swung at the first pitch he saw in the second inning. Popped out to shallow right field. Hitting .366 for the season with a homer and 15 RBIs. He pops it high in the air, right side foul ground. Apparently playable for Eric Maffey, who backs up and makes the grab. So Anderson, a .366 hitter this season. One of the most dangerous bats in this lineup. He's seen 2 pitches today, and he's 0 for 2 with a couple of pop-outs. Here's Sergio Olivares, the DH, trying to keep this inning alive. 5th man to bat this inning. 2 are on for Calumet College of St. Joseph, but nobody has scored yet. Olivares is 0 for 1, struck out swinging in the second. And he's hit by the pitch here. That loads him up. We've seen a lot of that today. On a cold day, it stings just a little bit more than usual. That's the 4th batter between these 2 teams who's been hit by a pitch. First guy that Sandoval has plunked. Sergio Olivares takes his base. And Idan Ortiz is the batter. Ortiz is 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. 3 strikeouts so far in the game for Sandoval. This time Ortiz pops it up into shallow center. Luke Ketchum comes in for it. Ketchum makes the call and the catch to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left on as we go to the 5th. It's 7-0 St. Francis. We're at the start of the 5th inning, and our score is 7-0. St. Francis in control here as the first pitch of the inning is taken downstairs for ball 1 on Alex Martinez. It's Martinez, Ketchum, and Vera due up against Mark Cervantes on for his 3rd inning of work. Ground ball, well hit, but right at the shortstop. Maury Garrett Jr. over to first, 1 away. The leadoff batter is retired for the first time since the 1st inning. And it brings up Luke Ketchum. Ketchum, the only St. Francis player so far today not to have reached base at least once. He's only had 1 official at bat, 0 for 1 with a ground out to the pitcher. He takes a strike. His first time up, he dropped down a sacrifice bunt, so it has not been an unsuccessful day at the plate for Ketchum. Even his ground out advanced the runner. Ball outside off the glove of Sanchez. It trickles away. The count goes to 1-1. Big offensive day so far for the Fighting Saints. That 6-run second inning was huge for them. A 6-run inning would be huge for anybody. Ketchum grounds it right at the third baseman. Ortiz fires to first in the dirt. A nice pick by Matchnick. 2 away. They've had some trouble offensively early on this season. Entering play today, the Fighting Saints had scored 105 runs in 25 games, right around 4 per contest, and that number has been dropping of late, especially in home games. Ground ball to the shortstop. Backhanded stop Garrett. Throw to first is just in time to get Tumulty and end the inning. Sam Tumulty getting his first at bat of the game. Grounds it to the shortstop. 3 straight groundouts to the left side of the infield. Best inning yet for Calumet pitching. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. 7-0 St. Francis. 7-0 St. Francis as we move into the bottom of the 5th inning. Calumet down to their final 9 outs here as they bring the bottom of the order up against Angel Sandoval. And Xavier Sanchez takes a strike over the inside corner. Sanchez is 0 for 1, popped out to the pitcher in his first at-bat when he led off the 3rd. Now he leads off the 5th inning. Takes up and in, 1-1. Calumet has started to break through a little bit against Angel Sandoval, but not to the point where they've been able to score any runs. Sandoval retired the first 7 batters of the game before Cody Wilkins, who stands on deck right now, got the first hit of the game for the Crimson Wave, a 1-out single in the 3rd. Sanchez backs out of the way of a fastball. It's 2-1. They did not get Wilkins nor anybody else in the 3rd inning beyond first base. That ball slugged into left field. It drops in front of Tumulty for a base hit. And it's a single for Xavier Sanchez. The leadoff man reaches for the 2nd consecutive inning. For Sanchez, that is hit number 6 this season. And that was a rifle into left field. 4th hit of the game for the Crimson Wave. Here's Cody Wilkins. As I said, they've been getting a little bit better offensively as this game has gone on. They got the leadoff triple from Quinones in the 4th, but were not able to score as he was thrown out of the plate on a ground out to the shortstop. And now they've got their leadoff man on base again. Cody Wilkins takes ball 1. Pinch runner over at first base. I think that's Felipe Martinez, who's running for the catcher. Yeah, looks like Martinez. So Felipe Martinez at first base. 1-0 on Wilkins. 1-1 on Wilkins. He takes a strike. Sandoval looking to get a ground ball right here. Over the inside corner, strike 2. Big inning for Angel Sandoval as momentum has started to shift towards Calumet. They've started to hit the ball a little bit. They loaded the bases in the 4th inning before ending up scoreless. And then a 1-2-3 top of the 5th inning was pitched by Mark Cervantes. That ball reaches the seat, still 1-2. So the Crimson Wave have got to be feeling a little bit better about themselves right now. They've got another man on base. Sandoval would love to throw a shutdown inning right here. Mentioned the struggles of the St. Francis offense. Calumet has struggled not quite to the same extent. They're averaging about 5 runs per game. Strike 3 called. Wilkins goes down looking. 1 away. Strikeout number 4 today for Sandoval. This is a Calumet team that struggles to get on base consistently. They've been able to score a little bit. A little bit better than St. Francis has, as a throw over to first sends Martinez back to the base. So you don't want to keep this team that has had a scuffling offense alive in the game. That's why this has become a big inning for Sandoval to put a 0 on the board. As Garrett takes a ball inside. Maury Garrett Jr. is 0 for 1 at the fielder's choice. Calumet needs a crooked number or 2 down the stretch here. It's getting late for him as it's fouled away. 1-1. St. Francis in their last 3 home games coming today, and today's not technically a home game. They're the visiting team on the scoreboard. They're wearing their visiting uniforms, but they're on their home field. Ground ball right side and out to right field. A base hit for Garrett. Second hit of the inning for Calumet. They have got 5 now for the game as Garrett is aboard. Martinez up to second. Good speed on both bases. 2 on with 1 out. We're back to the top of the order. It's Gabriel Quinones. You can hear the wind picking up. It is gusting straight out. Rain starts to fall just a little bit. It's a drizzle, not anything serious. Quinones takes a strike. Gabriel Quinones, 1 for 2 today with a triple. Struck out back in the first inning. He swings and misses. It's 0-2. I was saying, though, St. Francis has struggled to score on this field. Their last 3 home games, they've scored a total of 6 runs. They did win one of those games, but that took 10 innings to get to 2 runs. They've scored exactly 2 in all 3 of them. Today, they've outpaced that in just 1 game. As that ball's lined into left field, a hit for Quinones. Everybody advances 90 feet. And for the second straight inning, Calumet has loaded the bases. Second hit of the game for Quinones. And Sandoval, after retiring 8 of the first 9 batters he faced, has now seen 6 of the last 10 reach against him. Big RBI chance for Sean Moore. He can really get his team back into the game with 1 swing of the bat. Doesn't have to leave the park. He flies it into center field. This will certainly be deep enough to get 1 run in as Ketchum makes the grab. Everybody tags, and 1 man advances. So Martinez scores and makes it a 7-1 ball game. It's an RBI for Sean Moore. Martinez scores. Garrett and Quinones hold their positions at second and first, respectively. And we'll see if Calumet is able to get on a roll now that they've got that 1 run. Grounder right to the first baseman. Matchnick grounds it to Maffey, who steps on the bag, and I guess they won't get on a roll. Not right away, anyway. A run does score in the inning on 3 hits. They leave 2. We've played a full 5. It's 7-1, St. Francis. Seven to 1 St. Francis. The momentum has shifted a little bit here, but the score really has not. Fighting Saints still in control. Mark Cervantes back to the hill. He's retired the last 4 batters he's faced, including the first perfect inning of the game in the 5th. He faces the top of the order here in the 6th and misses low and away for ball 1 on Noah Carraro. Carraro is 2 for 3 today with a single and a double. He has scored twice. 1-0 pitch to him, swung on and missed. That's 1-1. Cervantes has already thrown 3 innings. He's only allowed 1 run, so it's been an effective 3 innings. He has given up 2 hits during that time in the game, and he has hit 3 batters. Gotten into some big trouble in the 4th inning, but skated out of it with just 1 run scoring. Carraro takes a strike. It's 1-2. In that 4th inning, the Saints had the bases loaded with nobody out. They were already up 6-0, and they had a chance to break this game wide open. Instead, they settled for 1 run. Fouled back, still 1-2. At the time, they were still up 7-0, so I don't think they were complaining about the 1 run, but it was a missed opportunity to put this thing on ice early. They lead by 6 right now. They've out-hit Calumet 8-6. Crimson Wave have committed 3 errors, none for St. Francis. Those 3 errors all came in the 2nd inning. all of them had an impact. Or at least 2 of the 3 did. Ball outside, 2-2. Sixth pitch of the at-bat. Grounded to the third baseman Ortiz. He scoops it up, fires across the diamond, low. Nice pick by Matchnick. 1 away. Leadoff man retired for the second straight inning and just the third time overall today. 5 straight outs have been recorded by Cervantes. They've all been on the ground. 2 putouts each for the shortstop and third baseman, and 1 for the second baseman. Assists, that is. All the putouts belong to the first baseman. John McGuire swings at the first pitch and pops it sky high to shallow center. Sean Moore comes in and makes the catch. Second out recorded quickly here in the 6th. 6 straight retired. It's the first man to put the ball in the air against Cervantes in a while. Only the second fly ball out he's recorded since coming in, out of the 11 he's gotten. 8 of the first 10 were on ground balls. Here's Eric Maffey. Strike 1. Maffey has been on base twice. He has an RBI. He's got a run. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. Ball outside, 1-1. Maffey was involved in maybe the most unusual play of the game so far back in the second inning. He hit what appeared to be an RBI single when it got past Sean Moore. He came around all of the bases. Fouled off out of play, 1-2. Because there was an error on the play, it was not an inside the park home run, but if it had been, it would have been the second of the inning. Well, how about 2 batters coming up in 1 inning, moving all the way around the bases after 1 swing without either ball leaving the yard? You don't see it very often. Maffey takes the ball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base. Big lead for St. Francis, getting late in the game. 2-2 pitch. Line to right field. That's a base hit for Maffey. So there goes the run for Cervantes. He had retired 6 in a row, no more. Runner on with 2 outs for the Saints, and Jake Lasota's the hitter. Lasota, the cleanup batter and catcher, is 1 for 3. He singled in the second. Throw over to first base by Cervantes. Checking on Eric Maffey. The Saints have run successfully today against the combination of whoever's pitching and Xavier Sanchez, who struggled to throw runners out behind the plate. So the pitchers have been watching each base runner very closely, including Eric Maffey right here. Even though Maffey has not taken off any time that he's been on base yet today, this time he's thrown out at first base. Cervantes picks him off, and so he was indeed wise to keep a close eye on him. So he pitches around the 2-out single with a pickoff before Lasota even sees a pitch. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-1, St. Francis by 6. Anderson, Oliveras, and Ortiz due up against Angel Sandoval in the bottom of the 6th inning. St. Francis leads Calumet College of St. Joseph 7-1. Strike one called on Nicholas Anderson, who takes a first pitch for the first time today. He had been up twice prior to this, 0 for 2 on just 2 pitches. This time he swings on 0-1 and bounces it to third. Martinez fires across the diamond and gets the out. 1 up, 1 down in the 6th inning. So Anderson, the .366 hitter, is 0 for 3 today and has seen just 4 total pitches. And now it's the number 5 batter, Oliveras, to hit for the 3rd time. Sergio Oliveras is 0 for 1. He struck out in the 2nd and was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Getting his 3rd look at Angel Sandoval, he takes a strike. Sandoval has pitched well today, especially at the start of the game. Pitched out of some trouble the last 2 frames and hangs in there for the 6th. One hopper right back to him. Sandoval, nice backhanded stab at it. Flips it underhand over to first base. 2 down. The game began with back-to-back 1-2-3 innings recorded by Angel Sandoval. If he retires Ortiz here, it'll be his first one since the 2nd inning, his first perfect frame. Idan Ortiz is 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown out. Sandoval looking to put him away for a quick inning. Bouncer to third base. It looks like it will be a very quick inning as Martinez fires a strike to first. And on just 5 pitches, Sandoval retires the side. We got 1 inning still to play here in game 1. St. Francis leads 7-1. Jake Lesota swings at the first pitch in the 7th inning and slugs it down the left field line for a hit. It scoots past Nicholas Anderson to the wall. That allows Lesota to move into second base with a leadoff double. On the first pitch of the 7th inning, Lesota finds his way aboard. He's got his 2nd hit of the ball game, his first extra base hit, and the 2nd double of the game for St. Francis, their 10th hit overall. So Lesota, the catcher, departs to go get ready for the next inning. Peterson back in for him at second base. John Peterson stole a bag earlier as a pinch runner for Lesota. Now he gets a chance to run the bases again as Scott Tumulty digs in, swings at the first pitch and misses, strike one. Tumulty homered his first time up and inside the Parker. That ball misses outside, 1-1. Since then he's grounded out and been hit by a pitch. Mark Cervantes still on the mound for Calumet. This Tumulty flips this ball down the left field line. It drops foul. Count is 1-2. This is inning number 5 for Cervantes. He has pitched really well. He's only allowed 1 run through 4+ innings. That double for Lesota was the 4th hit he had allowed. He hasn't walked anybody. Came in with 14 walks in 10 2/3 innings. Ball outside, 2-2. Maybe I just jinxed him, but he's only gone to 3 balls on 1 hitter that he's faced. However, he has hit 3 batters. So his control has not been impeccable. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out with a runner at second base. Ball upstairs, full count. So this is the first time he's gone to 3 balls on any hitter since the 3rd inning. Fly ball into left field. Anderson moves over into the gap and makes the catch. Peterson tags from second. Does not test the arm of Anderson. And so he remains where he is at second base with 1 out. Tumulty flies out to left field. He'll bring up Gio Pappas. Pappas is 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the 2nd inning, came around to score. Hit by a pitch in the 3rd, stole a base, but was stranded at 3rd base. 6 of the 7 runs in this game for St. Francis came in the 2nd inning. Ball 1 up and in on Pappas. It's not as though the Saints didn't hit the ball that well that inning. They did, but some very shaky defense from Calumet definitely contributed to those 6 runs scoring. It could be a much tighter game right now. The 1-0 is lined sharply to right field for a hit as it drops in front of Quinones. Peterson is held at 3rd base, putting runners at the corners. It's a single for Gio Pappas, his first hit of the game, his 3rd time on base. And the Saints can put this game away once and for all here with Alex Martinez stepping in. 7-1. As of now, they're already just 3 outs away from a win. They can make it that much easier with a few runs here. Throw over to first base, chases Pappas back to the bag. Those 6 runs in the 2nd were helped out by RBI hits from Scott Tumulty, Jake Vera, and Eric Maffey. John McGuire brought home a run on a ground out. Martinez takes ball 1 outside. They scored another run in the 4th inning. They got a double from Noah Carraro, and then later in the inning when the bases were loaded, Carraro scored on a double play. So it was 7-0. Calumet got their lone run in the bottom of the 5th inning on a sacrifice fly from Sean Moore. 1-0 the count on Alex Martinez. Ball 2. Both bullpens are empty. Sandoval will be looking to go the distance in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cervantes trying to hold on here for 2 more outs. He's already thrown 4 1/3 innings. The runner goes on ball 3 outside to Alex Martinez, and no throw made down to second base on a delayed steal. Gio Pappas into scoring position. That takes the double play out of order. Midland fielders stay back though for Calumet. And it's ball 4 outside. He walked him to load the bases. First walk issued today by Mark Cervantes. So Martinez is at first, Pappas is at second, and Peterson is at third. Luke Ketchum's got the big opportunity here with the bags full. Still just 1 out in the inning. First pitch to Ketchum. Hit high in the air, shallow center field. Maury Garrett backs up. He's called off at the last second by the center fielder, Sean Moore. And the runners hold their positions. 2 outs. Big second out recorded by Cervantes and Moore. Ketchum remains hitless, 0 for 3 now. And the last hope in this 7th inning is Sam Tumulty. Already a 6-run lead for St. Francis. Trying to put it away once and for all. Sam Tumulty is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Ball one high. Well, this is where all those control problems that Mark Cervantes has had over the year become a major concern. The base is loaded and 2 outs. Walk would bring home a run. And so would a hit batter. Tumulty is hit by the pitch, and that brings home a run. Brian Mahalik heads to check on him, but he's okay. He trots on down to first base with an RBI. 4th hit by pitch of the game by Mark Cervantes. And Sam Tumulty walks on down to first. After he was hit, sounded like it was the back of the head. You kind of hear that ball clunk against the helmet. It may have been high off his back, so it may have gotten him in both places, maybe on a ricochet, I'm not sure. But it sounded like it got the back of the helmet. So that's always a little scary, but he seems to be okay. So he gets the RBI. And for Sam Tumulty, that is RBI number 5 this year. The bases are still loaded with 2 outs. We're back to the top of the order, and Noah Carraro taking strike 1. Carraro is 2 for 4 with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored today. 8-1 is our score. In the dirt for a ball. The count is even. Pappas is at third. Martinez is at second. Tumulty's at first. 1 run is already in. We've seen a double, a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch so far this inning. Fouled away. Saints are down to their final strike in the 7th. 1-2. Carraro is the 7th man to hit this inning for the University of St. Francis. It's been a long day at the office for Mark Cervantes, typically a starter. So going into his 5th inning of work has not been too unfamiliar to him. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning is over. First strikeout for Cervantes since the 3rd inning, and it comes with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He's able to pitch out of the jam, but St. Francis did get a run on a bases loaded hit by pitch. And as we head into the bottom of the 7th, the Fighting Saints are 3 outs away from a win. They're on top 8-1. Bottom of the 7th, and a chance for St. Francis to put away game 1 with a victory here. They lead by 7 runs. 8-1 is our score as the number 7 batter, Xavier Sanchez, leads off for Calumet, swings at the first pitch from Angel Sandoval and flies it into center field. Luke Ketchum backs up and makes the catch. 1 away. Calumet started to get to Sandoval a little bit in the middle innings, but Angel has settled in. 6 consecutive batters have been retired, starting with the sacrifice fly from Sean Moore. So the bases were loaded with 1 out in the 5th inning, and it looked like Crimson Wave were going to try to make a real game out of this. But that sacrifice fly seemed to settle him in. He has not let anybody reach since, and now he'll face a pinch hitter with 1 out and nobody on in this bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch misses low for ball 1 on Christopher Pantaleon. Pantaleon is 4 for 32 at the plate this season, a 125 average. He takes a strike over the outside corner, 1-1. Sandoval looking for the complete game, may just be 1 out away as Carraro charges and gloves that ground ball. He throws out Pantaleon at first base, 2 down. So Sandoval is now just 1 strike away, or 1 out away, I should say, from wrapping up his first complete game this season. He needs to make it through just 1 more batter. It'll be Maury Garrett Jr. 7 straight have been retired. Sandoval began this game by retiring the first 7 batters. Swing and a miss from Garrett, strike 1. He's trying to close the game by retiring the last 8 consecutively. Fly ball into center field. Ketchum comes on, makes the grab, and there's your ball game. St. Francis takes the opener of today's doubleheader by an 8-1 final score. The Fighting Saints very impressively in this one take down Calumet College of St. Joseph. Never really a ball game. They scored 6 runs in the top of the 2nd inning, and they cruised to this victory, adding a couple of late runs just to make it look a little bit sharper on the scoreboard. Our final totals today: 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors for St. Francis, 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors for Calumet. All 3 of those errors came in the 2nd inning, and that's when the lion's share of the scoring was done. It began with Scott Tumulty hitting a deep fly ball to right center field. It hit off the base of the fence and took a weird bounce back into center field. Sean Moore misplayed it, and as a result, the speedy Tumulty was able to make it all the way around and make it an inside the park home run. Following that, St. Francis broke through a few more times. Gio Pappas reached on error. Alex Martinez walked. They were both bunted ahead by Luke Ketchum, and Jake Vera followed with a 2-run single that made it a 3-0 score. Then Noah Carraro singled. John McGuire hit an RBI groundout. Eric Maffey reached on an RBI single, and then he too came all the way around to score on his own base hit, thanks to a couple of misplays in the Calumet outfield. So it was 6-0 at the end of 2 innings. They added 1 more run in the 4th on a double play ball with the bases loaded that made it 7-0 before Calumet finally broke through. They got a run in the 5th inning, loading the bases on 3 singles with only 1 out. Sean Moore hit a sacrifice fly to center. It was deep enough to bring home Martinez to make it a 7-1 score, but St. Francis put it away with 1 more run in the 7th inning. So 8-1 the final. Angel Sandoval is the winning pitcher. Sandoval went the distance today. He improves to 2-2 with his first complete game of the season. The losing pitcher, who gave up 6 runs in 2 innings, was Bubba Davenport. Davenport falls to 2-3 this season. Mark Cervantes pitched well over the final 5 for Calumet. So that'll do it for Game 1 of today's doubleheader. 9-inning contest coming up in about a half hour's time. So join us for that one. That'll do it for this Game 1 broadcast. Again, St. Francis defeats Calumet College of St. Joseph 8-1. We'll be back in a bit with Game 2.